As we reported here on BON last week, during Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper's visit to China, the two sides agreed to cooperate more in fighting cross-border crime and repatriating criminals. And that could have serious consequences for one fugitive from Chinese justice, Lai Changxing. One of China's most wanted fugitives, Lai has been living in Canada for 10 years and was even granted a work permit in February.
Well, during the 1990s, Lai allegedly masterminded a $10 billion U.S. smuggling scheme which touched off a high-profile corruption scandal in the province of Fujian. Dozens of high-level officials were sacked. Some were even sentenced to life imprisonment or given the death penalty. The fallout from the complex case resulted in a complete shift in the political scene in Fujian at the time.
Well, in 1999, Lai fled to Canada with his wife and children. Canada does not have capital punishment and is prohibited by law from deporting accused criminals to countries where they could be executed. China has promised that Lai will not face the death penalty if he is extradited, but his attorney says it is doubtful that his client could ever get a fair trial in China.
Well, now with the possibility of closer cooperation in this area, many Chinese people are curious about Lai's future. Our researcher Jackie Wen has been following the chat online and joins us now from the newsroom. Jackie, what are you finding in terms of general reactions to this case so far online?
The vast majority of people say it is bad news for Lai Changxing and wonder if he will be the first to be repatriated under the new commitment. Most people say he's been hiding in Canada for too long time and it's time he was extradited, or a major obstacle in Canada and China relations will remain. Others complain that many officials have fled to Western countries, especially Canada and the U.S., after corruption cases, costing the state a lot of money. They say China should improve cooperation with these countries so that fugitives can be returned and at the same time block the road of escape for corrupt officials.
And Jackie, are there any other comments?
While there are some who have doubts about how workable the plan will be, they say cooperation is based on the respective laws of both countries. As countries like Canada don't have the death penalty, and the judicial system is so different to China's, they feel lawyers will always be able to argue a case for their clients. For this reason, they feel cooperation on extradition may not be successful.
Thanks, Jackie. Well, James, of course, this man is referred to as the most wanted man in China, and it's also said to be the biggest and most expensive criminal investigation in the history of People's Republic of China. The report says 300 people are jailed, 14 sentenced to death, and 7 are already executed for their roles in Lai's.
It truly is a massive scale, this
Exactly,
investigation,
yes.
because the alleged crimes of this person are truly massive as well. You know, for a man who essentially had 3 years of elementary school, he did pretty well for himself. His story, I mean, he used to dig wells. He was from a poor family in this province, and he rose to become the smuggling kingpin. The scale is just immense. At one time, he wasn't even sure how many companies he owned. Wow. And obviously, you know, a huge amount of public interest in this. Following, you know, as he fled to Canada several years ago, for more than a year, state newspapers here were filled nearly every day with the details of these alleged crimes and you know, his business dealings. So there's still remains a huge amount of interest, not only here in China, but in Canada as well.